I have spent my life studying how human beings learn. As an education expert, I know the theories of motivation, the psychology of growth, and the art of pedagogy. I have stood in front of hundreds of students, guiding them to success. But there is one student I have consistently failed to reach: my own child. It doesn't matter how old they are, whether they are navigating the storms of adolescence or walking the complex path of adulthood. Whenever I try to offer them the curriculum of life, my wisdom, my experience, my guidance, I am met with a wall. They sigh, they look away, they defend themselves against accusations I haven't even made. The atmosphere becomes heavy with an unspoken tension. For a long time, this shook me. I thought, I am an expert in communication. Why is this message not landing? Why is this student so resistant? But in the quiet moments of the night, when I replayed those interactions in my mind, I began to notice something unsettling. The way they snapped back at me, it had a familiar rhythm. The way they shut down emotionally, it had a familiar texture. The impatience in their eyes, I had seen it before. I wasn't seeing a rebellious stranger, I was seeing myself. In education, we talk about the hidden syllabus. It's not what is written in the textbooks. It is what the students learn from the culture of the classroom. They learn how to behave by watching the teacher, not by listening to the teacher. Our homes have a hidden syllabus too. I realized that my child's reaction, that defensive, sharp, dismissive attitude, was simply the echo of my own parenting style. When I approached them with anxiety masked as advice, they mirrored it back as irritation. When I approached them with a desire to fix them, they mirrored it back as a desire to escape me. They were returning to me exactly what I had given them. I realized that the most powerful lesson I had taught them wasn't in my lectures, it was in my reactions. My inability to handle their mistakes calmly taught them to be defensive about their mistakes. My need for control taught them the art of secrecy. The mirror does not lie. If the reflection is frowning, it is because the face in front of it is frowning. To understand how to break this cycle, I had to stop being the teacher and become a student again. I turned to the greatest educators in human history, the four sages. They understood this dynamic millennia ago. Socrates was the master of the question. He knew that true education is not filling a bucket, but lighting a fire. He never forced wisdom. He invited it. I realized I had stopped asking my child questions. I was only giving answers. A teacher who only gives answers creates a student who stops thinking. To change the reflection, I had to stop lecturing and start asking, what do you think is the right path? The Buddha taught the law of cause and effect. Karma. In the classroom of the home, this is immediate. If the cause is my judgment, the effect is their withdrawal. I cannot plant a seed of criticism and expect to harvest a fruit of trust. The Buddha reminds us, if you want a different reaction, you must provide a different action. Jesus offered the ultimate pedagogical strategy: judge not. He taught that love must precede correction. As an expert, I know that a student's brain shuts down under threat. When I judged my child, their brain went into survival mode. To reach them, I had to create a sanctuary of grace, not a courtroom of judgment. And Confucius. He taught that all order begins with the self. To put the world in order, we must first put the nation in order. To put the nation in order, we must put the family in order. To put the family in order, we must cultivate our personal life. I was trying to fix my child, the family, without cultivating my own patience, the self. Confucius would say I had the order backwards. So, how do we apply this? How do we change the hidden syllabus? We must realize that our attitude is the lesson. If I want my child to be respectful, I must offer them respect, especially when I think they are wrong. If I want my child to be calm, I must be the calmest person in the room, especially when they are chaotic. The next time you feel that familiar disappointment rising because your child isn't listening, stop. Look at the mirror. Are you teaching them anxiety? Are you teaching them rigidity? Change your input. Soften your eyes. Lower your voice. Release the need to be right. Say to them, I trust you to figure this out. I am here if you need me. Watch what happens to the reflection. When you stop pushing, they stop pushing back. When you offer a safe harbor instead of a storm, they will eventually sail their ship home. The ultimate goal of education is not to create a replica of the teacher. It is to help the student surpass the teacher. Your child's life is their own curriculum. Your role is not to write it for them, but to be the steady, loving presence that gives them the courage to write it themselves. Be a mirror of love, not a mirror of judgment. And you will find that the wisdom you so desperately wanted to give them, they will eventually find it on their own, because you gave them the space to breathe.